Hello, my name is Melanie and welcome to my channel Minty Rice. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make s'more truffles. So what you'll need is you'll need graham crackers. You'll only need 2 of the 4 packs that come in these, or 3 packs. And then I like using the GHIRARDELLI chocolate, the milk chocolate. So if you get these, you'll need 3 bags. And then you'll need about half a jar of the 13-ounce Jet Puff marshmallow cream. They also come in like the 7-ounce marshmallow cream, and you can get just one of those, and that should be enough for you. You need a 2/3 cup heavy whipping cream, right there. And then to get the shape for the truffles, I use ice trays, so you can use those. If you have anything else that you can fit a bunch in that's tiny, you can use something along those lines as well, but I recommend ice trays just because I've done them. Especially you have the round ones. I don't, I have square ones, but it doesn't really make a difference in the end anyway. So to start with, what I do to start with is actually in the trays. I take the marshmallow cream and I spoon it out into the bottom of the trays. This is because the marshmallow cream actually freezes a bit better than the truffle chocolate that goes inside the truffle does. So it's easier to pop them out of these hard ones, especially when you have the marshmallow at the bottom instead of at the top. So I'm gonna tilt the camera down so you guys can see better. And then I'm gonna get spooning, and then I'll show you what to do. So I just use like a regular spoon. I don't think it really matters how you spoon it out. And I take anywhere from like half of one of these, especially because it sticks up. Sorry, my cat is right there, if you're wondering. But especially because it's puffy. So I do about half or a full one of these, just kind of depending on how it pops up. It doesn't matter a whole lot at this stage, as long as you end up matching the amount of chocolate in each of these. So you get that really nice ratio of marshmallow to chocolate. So, like I said, about a spoonful, about yay big. You're gonna need something else. You can use like a butter knife to get it off of the spoon. So then you just go through and stick some marshmallow at the bottom of each tray. If you do one of these jars and you have extra marshmallow and you have space in the tray for chocolate, you can always add more marshmallow. But since you want a good ratio of marshmallow to chocolate, I would really recommend not filling it up more than about halfway-ish. It's puffy, so it's not going to fill the whole bottom, so it's a little hard to judge. But yeah. Alright, so once you get the marshmallow cream spooned into the bottom of the ice trays, and by the way, my ice trays hold 14, sorry, they hold 14 ice cubes normally, but now truffles, so I have 3 of those. If your ice trays are different sizes, or if you have another way of doing it, you just might want to keep an eye out on how much you're using. So the next step is to take the heavy cream and boil it. I like to just stick it in the microwave for a little bit, so that's what I'm gonna do. I just kind of put it on a time until I see it start to boil. So get that going. And then for the truffle part on the inside, you're going to want about 100 of these GHIRARDELLI wafers. So I already have them pre-counted, but you're going to want to put them at the bottom of a bowl. And when the whipping cream is boiling, you're going to need a whisk. And we're going to whisk the cream in, and it's going to melt the chocolate for us. And like I said, this will be the truffle cream on the inside of the truffles. So this cream doesn't freeze super well. Sorry, you can't even see my face. This cream doesn't freeze super well, so like it just doesn't get very hard. It still stays pretty liquidy no matter how long you leave it in the freezer, which again is why I put the marshmallow cream in at the bottom. So when this is done, we're gonna go ahead and just dump it on top of the, well, not dump it, spoon it out on top of the marshmallow cream. So yeah, let me check on this. All right, it's boiling. Like I said, we're just going to dump it in there slowly and stir it as we go to melt all of the wafers. So this is going to be pretty liquidy, but that's kind of the point, because in a s'more truffle you want the melty marshmallow and the melty chocolate, because at least to me that is the point of a s'more. It's crunchy on the outside and nice and melty on the inside. So you're going to want to stir this mixture until it's completely blended. It might take a little bit, so I use one of these to get it to scoop nicely off the bottom. I actually don't know if another utensil would be better. I created this recipe because, like I said, with s'mores, I feel like the point of them is to have the melted marshmallow and the melted chocolate. And I've tried a lot of s'mores related desserts and just haven't really found that in a lot of the ones I've tried. Usually at the places I go to, at least, they have just like a marshmallow and then tough chocolate, or like, you know, normal chocolate, hardened chocolate on the outside, and then a graham cracker, and it just doesn't appeal to me like a normal s'more does. So I created this recipe because I wanted the melted chocolate, so, and the melted marshmallow, which is what the marshmallow cream is for. So anyway, like I said, it takes a little bit of time to stir, but it's almost done. Not quite a uniform color yet, but the wafers are all nice and melted, as they should be, which is great. All right, see, so now it's all the same color. So we're gonna go back to our marshmallow trays and take, you can either have washed the spoon that you used earlier, or you can do what I do and take another spoon. I'm grabbing a larger one this time just because it's easier, and then you just kind of spoon the chocolate in the top of these. And you don't have to fill it all the way up, but you do want to do a decent amount. And again, that's partially because you're going to lose some at the bottom of the tray. Like, it's just going to happen. Again, this doesn't freeze super well, and I mean, we're going to freeze it to harden it a little bit, but it's just not going to harden much. So if you have the soft silicone trays that you can pop out, you might have better luck with it. But again, I don't. I have these hard ones, so that's what I'm using. All right, so when you get to the bottom, make sure you use the spatula and scrape the chocolate on there, because why waste good chocolate? Again, sorry about the face. It's just a weird setup I have in here. I don't have a tripod or anything. I just have like a camera for the computer. So, and I want you guys to be able to see the counter, because that is more important than my face. But anyway, so when you're done with that, it's gonna be pretty messy if you're like me and can't really dump or spoon stuff over without getting chocolate pretty much everywhere on the counter or like on the edges of these. But anyway, so when you're done, take these and go ahead and stick them, I don't know if that was still open, go ahead and stick them in the freezer for a couple of hours. I recommend about 1 to 2 hours, maybe more. It just kind of depends. Like I said, or like I've said a few times, the chocolate isn't gonna fully harden. So when it's semi-hard or hard enough that it's not like completely coming apart or like still melted, like this, is when you're going to be able to start dipping it. So I'm going to go ahead and freeze these, and then I'll get back to you when they're done. All right, welcome back. So the inside of the truffles has now been frozen and is as solid as it's gonna get. So before you take it out of the freezer, you should take your graham crackers and crush them into tiny pieces. I find it a lot easier to do it while it's still in the bag. And let me tilt this down so I can demonstrate. I just kind of lean on it and just smush it. So, go. Oh, shoot. Careful, the bag apparently pops open. Yeah. So I have a shallow dish to put the graham crackers in because the truffles are going to be rolled in them once I have their outer chocolate coating. So, yeah. So I personally like it mostly crushed with some slightly larger pieces. I think this is probably a bit too large. But I like the slightly larger pieces in there too because they get that good crunch. But having some like powdery pieces is really good for kind of grabbing onto the truffle. It's almost like having flour on your hands as you're making cookies, but not really. So, yeah. So once you get them smashed up good enough, and hopefully you didn't get graham cracker all over your counter like I did. Not that it's that hard to clean up. Now it's time to start melting the chocolate because the truffles don't stay solid for very long. So just follow the instructions on the back of it. I typically do about half a bag at a time. It's really up to you and how fast you're able to dip these and how many or how much of it the bag you should do at a time. Like I recommend less if you're a bit slower because it can start hardening and it's just easier this way. So I'm just gonna finish up the last of the bag that I used for the inside of the truffle and open up another bag and get that going. It's like it doesn't want to be opened today. So it says to cook it at half power for 30 seconds. Oops. And then after that, you'll definitely want to stir it with a spoon again. I would take, if you have like a larger spoon, I'd take one about this size, because what you're going to do, and the easiest way to do it, is to, when you get the truffles out, use the spoon to almost like dip it, and then you use the spoon to roll it around, and then scoop it out, dump it, and move it. You will also need to get out a baking sheet, or two, honestly, probably. But you only have to get one at a time, and cover it with parchment paper, because that's where you're going to be putting the completed s'more truffles. So, yeah. You can kind of do that as it's microwaving. Okay, my counters are clean, I promise. I cleaned them before this. So. Alright, so I just use a standard baking sheet. It really doesn't matter what you put them on, as long as you have something to put the truffles on. And I recommend parchment paper. You can because it's easy to take it off. So. Like I said, melting the chocolate can take a while. So I will get back to you when that's done. All right, so once your chocolate is nice and melted and smooth, go ahead and get the truffles out of the blender. Alright, so you're gonna have to work kind of fast with this. I recommend kind of carving around the outside with a butter knife or something not too sharp, and then just prying the truffles out. Because like I said, you can see, well, I had chocolate on this, but you can see it just from how it goes in there. It's pretty soft, and that's about how soft it's going to be. So you just want to pry it out, trying to save as much of the chocolate as possible. So if you miss some, you can kind of scoop it back up, and then drop it on the chocolate. Use the spoon to coat it, and then scoop it out, trying not to lose truffle chocolate, and then cover it in graham cracker crumbs. And then you let it cool, and you will have your s'mores truffles. So just keep doing this until you're done. They kind of warm up pretty fast, so if you need to, you can alternate which batch you're working on, to, if you have multiple ice cube trays that you're doing this in, to make sure that they're still as frozen as they're gonna get. So that all just depends on you, your speed, your preferences, all of that fun stuff. So pry it out, get as much as you can out of there, dump it in the chocolate, and I'm so clumsy today. Coat it, scoop it, dump it in the graham cracker, cover it, place it on the tray. It doesn't take super long to cool all the way, so yeah, just keep doing it until they're all done. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and yeah, let me know in the comments how you like it, if you let anyone else try it, or if you just ate them all yourself. Oh, by the way, I do recommend that you refrigerate these, mostly because the half and half keeps it so melty. I'm not sure how well it'll stay good outside of the fridge. I haven't tested it to see if leaving it out gives myself food poisoning, but considering you have to refrigerate half and half, and these are melted in the inside from, well, not melted, but gooey on the inside from the half and half, I recommend that you refrigerate them. So enjoy!